Ann Katz, Director of Arts Wisconsin, the state's community cultural development organization. Well, we're the state's community cultural development organization, which means we're all about the arts for everyone, everywhere in the state. We know that the arts are essential to the human condition, so people have been expressing themselves creatively since the beginning of time. And especially in the 21st century, and especially at this moment in time, the creative sector as an engine of Wisconsin economy and our quality of life is really important. So we're really about the arts as a catalyst for life and work in Wisconsin.
What is your favorite Wisconsin arts story?
Madeline Island, that's one of my favorites, because Madeline Island, which is all the way at the very top of the state in Lake Superior, has a population of 150 people in the winter and 5,000 people in the summer, and it's a huge, huge destination. It is a hotbed of creativity because the people who live there have to be creative in terms of living on an island without direct access to the mainland, and using creativity to make their lives and their work there. And so I was up there 2 years ago to help them create a public art plan because they want to be purposeful in making sure that the arts are accessible to everyone who lives on the island and who visits the island. And so I really have enjoyed interacting with those people to help them figure out how to keep things going.
And what do the arts mean to you?
I have always been involved in the arts. My mother's family were all very musical and artistic, and so that's what we did. We sang, we acted, everything in my family is a cue, right? Someone says something and then someone has a song related to whatever they just said. I was always in theater. I was a theater major in college. My career goal was to be a big Broadway star. I tried to do that and that didn't work. So I kind of migrated to being an activist for the arts. So it's not just what the arts mean to me, it's that my whole life is about not only being in the arts, but helping the arts flourish in my place, which is the state of Wisconsin. So the arts mean a lot to me.
Why do the arts matter?
I'd say that the arts make us human, and everyone is creative in some way, whether they call themselves an artist or not. So that's the fundamental reason that the arts are important.
What does access and inclusion mean to you?
My work is all about access and inclusion, and Arts Wisconsin is all about access and inclusion. And by that I mean, because we're all about ensuring that everyone everywhere in the state gets to participate, we work on breaking down barriers that keep people from participating and benefiting. So that can be financial, it can be geographical, it can be systemic. It can be that people don't know how to access the system that would help them participate in the arts. And that may mean that they don't have internet access, or that they can't physically get to something that they're interested in, or that they don't have the money for something. There's so many different overlapping reasons. Often there's more than one reason, but we work on calling out those barriers. So making sure that decision makers know about the barriers.
What can you tell me about the intersection of art and disability?
Part of your humanity is your creative expression. And so it's not just an intersection, it's sort of it's a whole body experience. It is part of who you are as a person. So I'm very admiring of Arts for All Wisconsin, because you work on the barriers that are out there to keep people who are disabled from participating in the arts. And so that is, to me, a very worthwhile mission and something that we always try to help you with. I just think that you can't separate the arts from people, whatever kind of person you are. And so, the intersection is, again, it's profound, it goes beyond an intersection, it's an integration.
Why is arts education so important?
Oh, it's the important thing. Because arts education is important because in the 21st century, we are all being called on to be creative, innovative, we're pivoting, we're trying to figure out what we're doing, we're building the car as we drive it. This is especially a moment in time where we have to be creative. And so our kids are growing up in this era, and they are going to be called on in their lives and in their work to be endlessly creative and innovative. And so those are all the skills that the arts teach: how to be creative, how to work as independently and have independent thoughts, and how to work in partnership with other people who may not think the way you do, especially. Those are the skills that the arts teach. And so arts education for all kids, and again, it's that whole access thing that all kids get to participate, it's not just part of education, it is education now. Helping kids discover their creative side is what's going to prepare them for the 21st century world and workforce.
What is a meaningful arts experience that you've had?
Singing, being on stage, being in a show, all of that is really meaningful to me. And I get incredible enjoyment from experiencing it with other people. I'm really in awe of how looking at a work of art or some kind of creative something and thinking, how did that person come up with that? Whether it's, how did Lin-Manuel come up with writing a musical about Alexander Hamilton in rap style with multicultural actors? I mean, how did he do that? To a kid creating a chalk work of art that they consider art on the sidewalk. I mean, I'm just in awe of how that is, and appreciate what people are capable of.
When you think about Arts for All Wisconsin, what do you think about?
I think Arts for All Wisconsin is an organization with a very worthy and important mission to break down those barriers between the arts and disabilities, and to bring people together through the arts. So I'm glad it exists. I'm glad we can work together. I'm glad that I'm appreciative of the important work that Arts for All Wisconsin does.
What is your hope for the future of the arts?
You can't stop creativity. You can't stop that creative spirit. You can't stop people from doing what they know they have to do. And so my hope for the future is that we get through this difficult moment in time in as good shape as we can, and keep building that new normal that we know we're going into. So again, I have great faith in that creative spirit, and that we will all keep figuring it out. And I'm going to hold on to that relentless optimism as best I can. The only other thing that I often say is that all 5-year-olds are artists and musicians and performers. That's what kids do. They can't help themselves. And I really, and there's so many ways that people can stop themselves from being creative, whatever age they are or whatever situation they're in. And so I just want to give a shout out for Arts for All Wisconsin for helping that creative spirit, and to all of us for figuring out how to keep it going. I could go on about the arts in Wisconsin, but